Good evening, everyone. Just try to confirm whether my voice is audible or not. Yes, Anand responded. Good evening. Okay, it's audible. So I would like to share my screen now. Is my screen visible? Yes, it's visible. So let me open the document. So we discussed these concepts in the last session. So strings and its functions. So we discussed what is a string, and we discussed various kinds of functions available for a string. So we discussed concat, index of, replace, search, substr, substring, split method. We also discussed what is that? So ends with and starts with, and we also discussed ends with function and two uppercase, and we also discussed two lowercase. Alright, so we discussed these concepts yesterday. Alright, so we covered the arrays, the strings also, and also covered the date and its functions. We discussed the date. So for date, we have to use a constructor, that is date. For calling a constructor, we have to use new. New is the special keyword. So for allocating memory dynamically to the created object. So we discussed the date and various kinds of functions available in this date. Alright. Please discuss time and date concepts and some more. Those people are missing in yesterday's session due to screen is not visible. Yes, sure, definitely I will discuss about these concepts again. So first of all, we have to discuss the concept of date. So let me take a new window, and then we have to use the console menu or console environment for getting information or executing the JavaScript programs. So here I'm going to create a date. So where I'm going to use a variable name, that is current date. I'm going to use new keyword. New is the special keyword, and we have to call this function. So this is a constructor. So we are calling a predefined constructor in JavaScript, that is date. So date is a predefined constructor. When we are going to call that, we have to use new keyword, because new allocates the dynamical memory to the created object. Here the current date is a created object, and we can get information from this date constructor. So it allocates the memory dynamically to the created object. That's fine. So when we are going to check the type of current date, so I am going to use type of, that is current date. Current date is an object here. It is not a variable. So we are calling it as an object because we are getting information from a constructor here. So let me check this. Now we are able to see the result, that is object. So the current date is an object here. So if you want to check what kind of data available in the current date variable or object, so I'm going to use current date. Now we are able to see this information is available in current date. So we just used the current date and we just printed the value. So by using current date, so here we are able to see different kinds of options, different kinds of values. So Tuesday, December, and 15. So 15th is date, today's date. And similarly, we are able to see the year, and we also observe the time. So now the time is 17 hours, 6 minutes, and 38 seconds. So this is a format of Indian time zone, right? So this is all about the date. And if you want to extract only specific values from this date, so we're able to see all the values available in this date, including the time zone, time. But if you want to extract different values, so we have to use different kinds of methods. For example, if you want to get the year, so we have to use get full year. So for example, I'm going to use current date is the object. So I'm going to use get full year function. By using this function, we can get the year. So the year is 2020. Similarly, I'm going to use current date dot get year. I'm going to use get year only. So here actually that is 20, but we're able to see 120 here, because so 2020 we need not to use like this. So we have to represent the year like this, 2020. So that is the reason we are able to see 120 here. So this is deprecated, don't worry about it. So get here. So this is all about the full year. So how we are going to use the get full year, and what is the value exactly we are able to see after running this. And similar to this, if you want to get month, so we have to use current date dot get month, month. Yes, this is the function. So let me check this. This is 11. So this is 11th month. This is 11th month. And similarly, if you want to get the date, so we can use current date dot get date. So D is capital, and let me print current. Yes, current date, D is capital. Current date dot get date. So today's the date is 15, so we're able to see 15 here. And similarly, if you want to get hours, so we can use get hours function. So current date comma get hours. So let me check this. Now we're able to see 17 hours. If you want to get seconds, you can use current date dot get seconds. Current date, D is capital. So now 38 seconds. If you want to get minutes, let me use current date dot get minutes. So now 6 minutes. So 17 hours 6 minutes. Now the time is 17 hours 6 minutes. So you can use date now function also. Let me use date dot now function. So if you observe this, we are able to see different kinds of suggestions. So let me use now. And if you observe this, so this is not a this is a function, so we have to use function braces. So we are able to see different kinds of time zone here. So that is 16803 like that. So this is calculated from the specific year, that is nearly 1974, I think. So from that we are able to get this value. So that is exact date. It calculated from 1974, I think. So that is the reason we are able to see like this. Yes, date and now function. So every web development program, for example Python or PHP, it returns only this value when we are going to use now function. So it calculated the time in seconds from a specific date, that is 1974. The year is 1974, but that is starting from a specific date. That is the reason we are able to see number of digits like this. So these are the different kinds of functions. These are the different kinds of functions for computing with this date function. Similarly, if you want to get a specific time, so we have to use current date dot we have to use get time function. So get and time. So let me check this. So we are able to see same kind of answer. These two are very similar. So now when we are going to execute this, the value gets changed. No, the value not changed. So when the specific time, when we are going to trying it, after a few seconds, then the answer changed. So again, now we are able to see the same kind of answer. So after a few seconds, a few moments, we will get different kinds of answer. So, and if you want to get the milliseconds, so we are able to see the different kinds of time zones available here, different kinds of time criteria. So 17 minutes, 17 hours and 6 minutes and 38 seconds. So if you want to get what is that, something like get milliseconds, so we have to use current date get dot milliseconds. Yes, we are able to see the suggestions, this one. So milliseconds, these are the 909 milliseconds. We already know 1 second is nothing but 1000 milliseconds. So when we are going to use this get time function, calculated the milliseconds from 1970. So let me use the same function again. So that is get time. Let me execute. Now we are able to see same kind of answer again. That is 16,080,321,98909. So let me remove this and refresh this page, and let me recheck this. So where current date, that is I'm going to use cd equals to new date. Alright, so I'm going to use cd dot get time function. Now the value gets changed. In previously we are able to understand the milliseconds gets changed, but the value which we are going to which we used already, that value will be that value is stored already in this browser. That is the reason we are able to get all the same values. So now if you execute this, now the value gets changed. Again, I'm going to execute this. So here each and every time I'm going to use a date function. That is the reason the value is not stored at all. So we're able to get new values here. So this is all about the date functions in JavaScript. So how to change? Sir, month is 12, right? Yes, yes. Month is 12, but it's showing 11. Oh, let me execute this. So because that was starting from 0 to 11. Remember, the month values are starting from 0 to 11. That is the reason we're able to see the last month as 11. So when we're going to check the same kind of function in January, we can able to see 0 as the month. So let me use new date. New date dot get month. We're able to see 11 only. So we're able to see 11 only. So because the month values are starting from 0 to 11, that is the reason we're able to see like this. So any other questions? Yes, month is 12. Yes. Sir, please once again about current date dot get year. Yes, definitely. Get year. So let me use get year here. So I would like to remove all the stuff and I would like to refresh this page once. Yes. So let me use the date function again. So new space date function date. So actually this is case sensitive, case insensitive. We can use anywhere. So if you want to use date, that is also fine. This one. New and date function. So even also we are able to see no date is not defined. So let me use the parenthesis. Yes, now it's working. No, date is not defined. Okay. So we have to use whatever it may be. We have to specify with capital letter only. So new date. Now this is the date. So yes, let me yes. The doubt is, so we have to use get year. So get year, when we are going to check this, we are able to see 120 is the answer, 120 as the result. So because, so this is actually this function is deprecated, but actually this was introduced. So we have to do one thing. So we have to do one thing, that is, so we have to calculate the current year and we have to minus 1900 from that. So for example, the current year is 2020 and let me minus this 1900. Yes, now we're able to see 120 as the result. Because so in earlier versions of JavaScript, it returns the exact time, but this was deprecated from the JavaScript. So we need not to use we should not use this function for in future purpose. So that is the reason it was replaced with get full year. So this was calculated based on the 1900 year. So when we are going to use this get year function, so the current year and minus 1900, it returns that value. So this subtraction is happened based on based on the universal time. So they introduced like that in the version of JavaScript 1 or 2. So in the initial stages, this function get introduced in 1990 are like that time. So the version 2 or version 2 for having this function, but this function was deprecated in new version that will be that was replaced with get full year function. So that is the reason we are able to see 120 as the result here. Yes, how to change it to 12 hours? This is also not possible because we are following the standalone time here. So that is the reason we are not able to change that. Sir, please repeat reverse string and join. Okay, definitely. So yes, let me use a string first. So let me use a string that is something like where str equals to, and use a string here. So I'm going to use my name again, Hanuman Kumar. All right. So what we have to do, we have to split each and every character from the string. So that is the reason I just used a function that is str dot split function. So when we are going to split each and every character, we have to use empty here. So I just used empty. And we have to use a reverse. Reverse means all the characters will be reversed. I just used reverse. And after that, if you observe this, each and every character gets reversed. And each and every character gets splitted. So that is the reason we have to join it again for getting the entire string. So again, we have to use empty character for joining. So let me execute. Join is not a function. Yes, we have to use reverse function properly. So reverse is a function, and after that we have to use join. Now we are able to see like this. So we have to do this step by step. For example, we have a string that is available in str. So we have the string, and I'm going to split this into multiple characters. So based on the empty means all the characters get splitted. So if you observe this, HANUMAN and space KUMAR, all the characters get splitted. So similarly, I'm going to use next function str dot split of. I'm going to reverse all the characters. So we have to use reverse function. So what happened? str dot split function. Yes, we didn't mention any special character in this split function. Yes, we have to use like this and reverse. Now all the letters gets reversed. So we know what happened in the split method when we are going to use empty as the parameter in split function. So we are reversing all the characters in it. So now all the characters get reversed, and we needed to display the information like this. We have to display information like a string. So that is the reason I used join function. str dot split method, and we have to use double quotations, and we have to use reverse function, and also we have to use the join function. How we are going to join? So we have to join all the array elements based on the empty. So we didn't mention anything, we just used empty. Empty means this is a empty string. So now we are able to see the reverse of a string. Try get full year. Yes, we used get full year already. We can get the year, entire year. So let me use that also. So a new date dot get full year. Yes, we are able to see the year. Now it's clear. Sir, it means we need to convert into arrays, and yes, we need to reverse it after that. Yes, of course. Of course, we are converting that into an array. So because we are using split method, right? When we are going to use split method for a string, it converts it into an array. So based on that, we are reversing that elements. So reverse is the function of an array. So we already discussed about it. Is that clear, everyone? Yes, it's clear. Yes, most of the people responded. Thank you. Thank you for responding. Yes. So there are no errors. We discussed all the concepts. So we discussed. So what are the different kinds of functions we discussed? So we discussed arrays, array iterations, array functions, string and its functions, and date and its functions. So we discussed date dot. So is get full year, get full year. So if you want to get the month, we can use get month. So here month also, when we are going to get the specific month, that is November, December, so we have to use array and we have to get that based on the logic. So there is no special function for getting the month name. And similarly, get date. So we can get exact date. Similarly, we have hours function. So we have to use get hours function. If you want to get minutes, we have to use minutes. And similarly, we have to use seconds for getting seconds. And we have a facility to get the milliseconds also. For that, we have to use get milliseconds. Yes, for time also we have to use get time. So these are the different kinds of functions for day. So date, get full year, get month, get date, get hours, get minutes, get seconds, get milliseconds, and get time. So these are all about the time, the date functions in JavaScript. Now it's time to discuss the concept of regular expressions. So regular expressions plays a key role in any language. So we have to focus on the regular expressions most of the time. So we have to use regular expressions for form validation and pattern matching and substring search engine. So let me start the concept of regular expressions now. Regular expressions. So remember everyone, the regular expression concept is very, very important. So let me check the chat box. Yes, no doubts are available here. So almost all are able to understand the concepts. So let me start with the concept of regular expressions now. So for defining a regular expression, first of all, we need to check whether where we have to use the regular expressions properly or not. So that is very, very important. So we have to understand how we are going to use a regular expression. So regular expression is used for checking whether the pattern is matching to a specific character or specific word available in given string. So for representing the regular expressions, we have to use reg-exp. So let me use this. So let me represent var, and I'm going to use a regular expression. So something like, I'm going to use re. I just used re, and re equals to, I'm going to use new regex. We have to use this function. We have this function already. So that is reg-exp. So new reg-exp. So here we have to mention, so which pattern we are going to check. For example, I have a string, I'm going to check this. So I'm going to check this Kumar. So regex Kumar. So we defined a regular expression. So similarly, I'm going to create a string. So initially, I'm going to create a string here. So where the string, that is string for checking. I would like to use string only. So that is Hanuman and Kumar. So I just used my name again. So we just defined a string and we used a new reg-exp. So reg-exp is the function. This is a predefined constructor, and re is the object. So let me check the type of re again. Type of, I'm going to use re, and if you observe this, this is an object because we are creating a variable and we are getting information from a constructor here. Alright, how we are going to test it? So let me use the console.log statement, console.log, and we need to test it. So we have already a variable, that is re. So I'm going to use re, and I'm going to use test. And for the parameter, I'm going to use str. So in str, so we have Hanuman space Kumar, and we used a regular expression. So that is Kumar. That means we are checking this Kumar from this Hanuman Kumar. Now let me check this. Now it returns false because K is capital. We have to use capital K. So let me use capital K for regular expression. So that is K. So first of all, I would like to remove this stuff here, and I would like to execute this str, and from here, yes, first of all, let me print this str. Yes. Now I'm going to create a regular expression. So we have to use new reg-exp. Alright. So similarly, I'm going to pass Kumar, that is capital. I just created this, and I'm going to use the console.log statement again. So here we are going to check. So for that we have to use re dot test. We are going to test it. So and I'm going to use str. So str, that is Hanuman Kumar. Now we are able to see true. Previously, if you observe in previously, so we used Kumar directly. That is without using any capital letter, but we mentioned the capital K in str. Now we are able to see true here. So very similar to this, first of all, we have to know how we are going to create a regular expression without using this reg-exp. So I'm going to use again where I'm going to use re1. So this is a new variable. I'm going to create a new regular expression. So that is when we're going to create a regular expression, we have to use slashes. So within slashes, we have to represent the regular expression. Now I'm going to use Kumar again here. This is a regular expression. Now I'm going to check the console statement. So console.log, and here I'm going to use re1 dot test. I'm going to use test. That's it. And in that I'm going to pass the parameter, that is string. So if you observe this here, this is also very similar. We are able to see the true as the answer. From this we can understand we can use the regular expression like this, or we can use regexp also. We can define a regular expression in two ways. So we can use regexp, and we can use the starting and ending positions, ending symbols, that is slashes, forward slashes. Alright, so let me use some other regular expressions. So here we checked the RE1 and we used Kumar, and similarly if you want to check the numbers, so for example if you want to check the numbers, so how we are going to check that? So we have to use, for example, I have a string, a special string is, or I'm going to use a string and I'm going to assign a new value. So that is something like happened in 1990. I just used happened in 1990. So what happened, that is not a matter. So we just define a string, that is for example. So happened in 1990. So I'm going to use str again. So what happened? So str is replaced with a string, that is happened in 1990. That's fine. So now we are able to, now it's time to check the numerical values available in this given string. So for that, what we have to do, we have to use a special function or special set operator, that is, let me explain that. I'm going to use console.log. Now we have to specify the regular expression. So we know how to specify a regular expression. We have to use forward slashes. I just used forward slashes. Now in between these forward slashes, we have to define the regular expression. So now I'm going to use 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So here I'm going to test it by using test function. So I just used test function, and what is the string? So that is str. So here we are checking the numerical values available in the given string or not. So it returns either 0, either 1, either 2, either 3, or it checks for entire characters or entire digits which was presented in the set operator. Set operator is nothing but the array, that is defined with brackets. So let me check this. Now we are able to see true here. So that means we are checking whether the given number or the numerical values are available in the given string or not. Very similar to this, I'm going to use the same condition, that is console.log, and I'm going to use the set operator, that is 0 to 9. We have only this kind of values, right? So I'm going to check 0 to 9 only. So let me press enter. Now we are able to see true here. So this is the shorthand for this one. So we need not to mention all the digits. We can use 0 to 9. This hyphen represents 2. Hyphen represents 2. And very similar to this, when I'm going to check the alphabet values, so I'm going to use console.log, and here I'm going to use the pattern again. So in the pattern, we can check A to Z. We can mention A to Z also. Let me check this test str. So that means we are mentioning the regular expression to check whether the string is having alphabets or not. So let me check this. Yes, the string is having the alphabets in there. So let me use a new string. So I'm going to use str equals to something like 1990. That's it. So we have 1990 available in this str. So I'm going to check the console.log statement. Here I'm going to check whether the string is having A to Z characters or not. So let me check this. We are able to get the false statement. This is false. We can understand. So we are able to observe. So because A and alphabet values are not available in the given string. I think it's clear up to now. Is that clear up to now? Yes, it's clear. If you are having any kind of doubts or queries, you can ask here. It's clear. Sir, how to check? How to check, sir? It gives true and even case. Even case is not same. So where you get this, Fatima? Sir, how to check, sir? It gives true even case is not same. So we are able to see false statement also, right? So when the pattern is not matching to the given string. Very similar to this, we are able to see the true values also. So how can we test Roman numbers? Yes, definitely we will check each one of them. So if we have A1 to B3 like this, yes, can't we check both string and yes, we will. I will explain this also. We will, and I will explain this also. So Chetan is responded. So Narendra is also responded. If we have the both the questions are similar, so how we are going to check both the conditions together? So let me use that also. So for that, what we have to do? So we have to use A to Z, as well as we have to use the 0 to 9, like that. So we can check like this. Even also, yes, we are able to see false statement because the string is not having the alphabets. So let me define the string again. The str equals to, again I'm going to use happened in 1990. Yes. So I'm going to use the console.log statement again. So now, yes. So first of all, so we have to specify how many numbers we have to need and how many numbers we are going to check. So I will explain the procedure by explaining each and every character of this. So don't worry about it. I will explain how to check both alphabets. Yes, definitely I will explain. So for that, we have to follow some kind of rules and regulations, and we have to follow some kind of operators available in it. So based on that, we have to check. So don't worry about it. I will explain this. So first of all, we have to focus on few kinds of operators available or special characters available in regular expressions. So let me start with the /d, that is checking for digit. So we already know how to check the digits. So for example, I'm going to check a date. For example, the date is something like, I'm going to use a string here. So the date is something like, what is the date? So 15, and that is, and 11 or 12. 12 is the date, and we have to use year. I'm going to use year. So that is 2020. So this is the date, current date. So we have to represent with var keyword. So this is a variable. So we just used var date, and 15/12/2020 is the current date. And so the information is available in date variable is 15-12-2020. So how we are going to match this? So for example, I'm going to check the console.log statement again. Console.log, and here I'm going to use the pattern. So we know how to define the pattern. We have to use slashes, and here we have to mention. So first of all, we have to mention the digits. So these are the digits. We can call these are digits. So digits are nothing but 0 to 9. So we have to use -d. So -d means it checks only one character. And similarly, I'm going to use again another hyphen. Similarly, we have to use hyphen. Again, how many digits are there here? So two digits. So we have to use 2 digits again. And after that, we have to use hyphen. And very similar to this, we have to use again 4 digits for this 2020, because we have 4 digits here. So how we are going to do that? So we have to use -d, and /d and /d and /d again /d. That means we have 4 digits here, that is 2020. So we are going to check this value. So very similar to this, I'm going to use test here, test, and we have to pass the date. Date is the string. So when we're going to check this, we are able to see that is true. Alright. So I'm going to change this to something like 15th, right? So I'm going to use Tuesday. Tuesday, it's not working. So let me check this, and I'm going to use console.log statement again. So I just changed this, and I'm going to use console.log statement. So we are able to see false statement after running this, because so we used alphabets and we mentioned the digits here. So let me check this, and now we are able to see that is false. If you observe this, we are able to see false here. So if we want to add this condition also, we have to represent the strings. So we checked it for the digits, and we have to use the strings, that is alphanumeric character. So for example, I'm going to use the console.log statement again, and here, so we need to use the alphanumeric character. So that is with W. So how we are going to use that? So we have to use W, and so again we have to use how many W's are there. So how many characters are there? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7. So we have to mention 7 words. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, and let me check this now. Now we are able to see true. So we are matching based on the words as well as the digits. That's fine. Every time we are mentioning like this, this is a time-taking process. This is the time-taking process. But how we are going to represent the shorthand for this regular expression? So I'm going to use, this is, we already know that is Tuesday is having 7. So I'm going to mention the number of digits, that is 7. So let me check this, so whether it is working or not. Now it's true. Very similar to this, and I'm going to use something like 2. So let me check this. Now this is also true, because it returns minimum number. So let me use 8 here. I'm going to use 8. So it returns false, because so we have only 7 words or 7 characters only. So very similar to this. So when we are going to use the 0-8, so this represents 0 to 8. So that is also false, because we need not to mention this. When we are going to use the character length, we have to use the square bracket, not square bracket, we have to use array. So that is the reason we are able to see the false as the result. So if we want to get a specified information, we have to mention the number of digits we are going to use. So this is the /W and /D. So very similar to this, if you want to check the space, for example, if we have the special character like space in the string, I'm going to use a string where, so we have already date, so we have a date variable, right? So I'm going to use 1990, or I'm going to use 15 space 11 space and 2020. That's fine. So this is the new string. So we just manipulated the string. So I'm going to use the console.log statement again. Console.log, and I'm going to use the numerical. First of all, we have to use numerical values. That is, so first of all, we have to mention the statement like this. Yes, and in that we have to mention the slashes. So /D and /D, and we have to mention space, and again I'm going to use /D, again I'm going to mention the space, again I'm going to use /D, slash d, and slash d. So again, I'm going to use test. Test is for checking. And I'm going to use date. So let me check this. Now this is true. That's fine. So we are able to see the spaces because we are checking the spaces also here. So instead of spaces, we can use the special character that is slash s. Slash s represents the space. I'm going to use slash s. That's fine. So let me check this. So how many slashes we used? How many? Yes. So 1 and 2. That's fine. So let me check this. Now that is also true. So space means we can divide, we can calculate the space also. So again, if you want to eliminate the space, for example, if you don't want any kind of spaces in the time if you want to show an error, so how we are going to show an error when the statement gets false? For example, if you don't want any kind of spaces, for example, if you don't want any kind of spaces, we have to mention the capital S. So that is the difference for small s and capital S. Small s represents the space, capital S represents non-space character. So let me execute, it returns the false. This is a false statement because the given string is not having any kind of spaces, but we mentioned the space here. Similarly, if you want to check only the space, so let me use the console.log statement again, and I'm going to remove all the stuff between the slashes. I'm going to use capital S. Capital S means we need not have any kind of spaces. So now that is true. If you observe this here, we have the space. So that means in the starting, so it matches all the cases. That is the reason we are able to get the true here. So we have to discuss few more characters. Based on that, we can write a regular expression for a specific condition. So till now, is it clear, everyone? So please kindly explain the topics, how to happen in real time. Yes, definitely we will look into this. Don't worry about it. But remember, so we can't do that directly without understanding the basics. Tell about capital S or small s. Once again, yes. So capital S means, for example, here, let me check this. So capital S means non-white space. So here we have date, right? So this is the date. And I'm going to use console.log statement. And I'm going to write a regular expression. So we have to use slashes. Similarly, I mentioned slash d and slash d. That means, so the pattern is having slash d, and we used spaces. So that is slash d and slash d again. And we used 4 slash d's again. So for example, slash d are very similar to this. I'm going to mention the number of digits are there. So that is 4, and this is 2, and this one is also 2. Alright. So let me check this by using test condition, that is test, and I'm going to use the date function here. So let me check this, that is true. So we represented the number of digits we are going to check. So this is having 2, 2 and 4. That's fine. We mentioned the space also. So we need not to use space character each and every time. So we can mention the special character that is slash s. That is, I'm going to use slash s. And similarly, I'm going to use slash s here also. So let me check this. Now this is also true. But when we are going to mention capital S, for example, I'm going to use capital S here. That means this expression represents that. So we should not use any kind of space in the string. We should not use any special space. We need to use any kind of spaces in the given string. That is the reason we mentioned the capital S here. Capital S means we need not use any kind of spaces in the given string. So when we are going to check this, we can get the false statement because the string is having the space here. So let me check this, and now we're able to see false statement here. And very similar to this, when we are going to use small s, we are able to observe the true condition because the space is already there in the string. So now this is true. Clear. Perfectly clear. Yes, clear. Clear. I was thinking about space and explained it already. Okay. So Durga Vasu, what Durga Vasu is the clear? Durga Vasu, is that clear? Yes, yes, yes. So yes, we will do the practice and the real-time projects also. Don't worry about it. Definitely, I will explain based on the real-time projects. But we have to know the basics of it. So that is the reason I am explaining each and every character. The regular expression plays an important role in every language. So we have to understand this concept very clearly. So that is the reason I am explaining each and every character here. So if this concept take lack of time, that is also okay for me. So because we have to understand the concept very clear. So very similar to this, I am going to use. So we already discussed different kinds of characters. So those are /d, /w, /s, and /S. And very similar to this, we have another characters, that is capital D and capital S. For example, what is the date? So that is 15 space 11 space 2020. I'm going to use console.log statement again. Console.log statement, and I'm going to use the regular expression. We have to use this, and I'm going to use /d. Here I'm going to mention /d. That means the character should not have the digit in it. Again, I'm going to use the number, so that is 2, and space, so we have to use S, that is for space, and I'm going to use capital D again. Again, I'm going to mention number of digits, that is 2. Again, /S, and again I'm going to use /D, that is 4. Alright, so this is the regular expression. So the difference between the capital D and small d is, small d means we have to use the digits in the given string. The capital D means we should not use any kind of digits in the string. So let me use the test function and test, and I'm going to use the date here. So let me check this, that is false, because we have the numerical values. But when we are going to use capital D, we should not use any kind of numerical values in the string. Very similar to this, we can use W also. So that means I'm going to use W, and here capital W, and here I'm going to use capital W again. So let me check this, and now here also we are able to see false. But if you observe this, W is nothing but the characters, right? So the W comes with both the conditions, either digit or alphabet. So we don't have a special character for the checking the condition of alphabets. So we have to use W for both the digits and the alphabets. So let me use small w here. So we just used capital W. I'm going to use small case letter. That is small case W and small case W. So let me check this, and now we are able to see true. So this W comes with both the conditions for digits as well as the alphabets. But when we are going to use D, it checks for the digits only. So these are the different kinds of characters for regular expression. Check your internet. Screen is not visible. Now am I audible? Am I audible now? What about the screen? Yes, screen, is my screen visible to you now? Yes, okay. So let me open the document first. So in regular expression, we discussed how we're going to define a regular expression. So we have to use slashes, or we have to use regex function. So regex, and this is the function. We have to use slashes or regex function. So we discussed a test function. So for checking the regular expression conditions. And after that, we discussed special characters. Special characters, those are /s, /S, /D, capital /D, /W, is capital /W. All right. So we also discussed the set operator. So set. So set, we have to define the set by using brackets, and in that we have to mention the range. We can mention the range. For example, for numerical values we have to use 0 to 9, and similarly for alphabet values we have to use A to G. So we can use 0 to 9, we can use A to Z. Similarly, we can use capital letters also, capital A and capital Z. Screen is not visible. Okay, okay. I think the screen is visible now, right? Visible? Visible, yes. Okay. So, yes, visible. For YouTube users, it's not visible. So we have to check it. Okay, okay, no problem. Yes, now it's visible. Now the YouTube users can see my screen, right? So I would like to use next pattern. So we just discussed various kinds of patterns available in the regex. So the function, that is test function, and we used few kinds of special characters. So those are /S, /S, /D, /capital D, and small w. This is for digits as well as the numbers. And we can use the range, so by using an hyphen. So we used 0 to 9, A to Z, and capital A to capital Z. So we used a set operator also. Similarly, if you want to specify the number or the length, so we have to use the braces. So in that we can mention the count. Alright. So if you want to specify the big character, so we have to use caret symbol. For example, we have a date, right? So in that we have a string that is 15 space 11 space 2020. I would like to use the console.log statement again. Now it's time to mention the regular expression. So we have to use slashes. In between we have to represent the regular expression. So I'm going to use the caret symbol. For example, I'm going to use a set, and here I'm using a caret symbol. Here I'm mentioning that 0 1. So 0 1 means the string should not start with 0 1 here. So let me use the test function along with the string. So the string here is date. So let me check this. So it's missing. Yes. So let me use another parenthesis. Now it's true. So because the string is not started with 0 1. So similarly, when we are going to define like this, for example, I'm going to use 1. So it checks for the beginning character. So let me check this now. So here also we are able to see the true. Okay, let me recheck this. So we used caret symbol. So here we are able to see true. Yes, yes. So we have to specify the starting character here. So this checks for the ending positions. So let me use the ending positions here. For example, 20 is the ending position. So let me use ending position. So that is 20. So let me check this. Again, also we are able to see true here. So let me recheck this once. So here we used cap symbol. So date function is fine, and so we are using caret symbol. That is also fine, but we are able to see we are able to see true here. So now I'm going to remove this brackets. I'm just using -20. So we have to use set, right? So let me remove 0 also. So let me check this. Now we are able to see false. So because 2 is already available. So let me recheck this console log, and I'm going to use 3. 3 is not available, I think. 3 is not available. Yes. Let me check this. And yes. Let me recheck this once. Two zero. Yes, 01. That is fast. That is yes. This is checking for the starting value. So let me recheck this once. Yes. Let me recheck this date function. So I'm just using date function here. So now it's time to check the regular expression by using cap or caret symbol. So I'm going to use console.log statement again, and I'm going to use a regular expression. So in that regular expression, I'm going to mention the set only, because we are going to check number of characters. I'm going to use caret symbol. Caret symbol means the beginning character. We are checking for the beginning character. That's it. That's a fine. So I'm going to check 1 5, and I'm going to use the test function here. Test function, and I'm going to use date instead. So let me check this. That is true because the string is starting with 15. And very similar to this, I'm going to use 14 here. I'm just using 14 dot test, and this is also returns true. Yes, let me use true 2 here. Let me use 2 here. So even, let me check this. Now even also we are able to see true here. So let me recheck this. There is a small mistake in it. Screen is not visible. Screen is visible, but yes. Let me check this concept again. Yes. Okay. So everything is fine. Yes, it takes the global pace. So, for example, so let me check with some kind of binary numbers. That is fine. So I'm going to use another variable that is re underscore binary. I'm going to use re underscore binary, and here I'm going to represent the string. So yes, it's fine. I'm going to use a binary number. So that is something like 1001 and 11001. So we are using something like this. So and now I would like to check this. So that is console dot log, and I'm going to use the regular expression. So that is we have to start with the cap only. So this is exactly correct, and the binary values are must and should have 10, right? So I'm going to use 10, and I'm going to use test condition here, test function, and I'm going to use re underscore binary. All right, let me recheck this. Now that is false, because we have 10s. So we have 10 every time. So 10 is already there. So let me change this to something like unbinary numbers. For example, the binary that is re underscore binary. I'm going to use this re underscore binary, and here I'm going to mention 100, 300, 400 like this. So this is not a binary number, right? So we used 3 and 4 also, but what we represented in this, so we used 101. So it matches only 10s. So let me recheck this. I'm going to use this re underscore binary. So we have this value in re underscore binary. I'm going to use the console.log statement. So I would like to remove this. So if you observe this here, so we are just checking by using cap symbol. So when the specified numbers 10, if the 1 and 0 are available in the given string, then we can get false values, because we are mentioning the inverse case. So this is inverse case. So we used cap symbol for inverse set of characters. So we have to use 10s in the given string. But here, if you observe this, we don't have, we have 3 and 4 also. This is not a binary number, but we are checking based on this. When we are going to check this, we are able to get true here, because so we are matching only 1 or 0. So, but here we are able to see 3 and 4. So that is the reason we are able to see true here. And but here all the characters are matched. So we have 1 and we have zeros, and all the pattern, all the characters are 1 or zeros. So we are able to represent. So we are mentioning that invert case. So that is the reason we used cap symbol here. And when we are going to use any other characters rather than 0 and 1s, we are able to see 3 and 4. But when we are going to check this, we are able to see true as a value. So this is the difference. So it checks for only 1 and 0. So if 1 and 0 are available in the given string, then it returns false, because 1 and 0 are already available. So it checks for all the global characters. That means the string must and should have only zeros and ones. But here, if you observe this here, we used 3 and 4. We mentioned that each and every character is must and should have 1 and 0, but we have 3 and 4. So that is the reason this condition is true. So this is the difference. Now is that clear? Is that clear everyone now? So we used different kinds of values by using date function. That is the reason we are not able to observe the output properly. So whatever it may be, by discussing few more characters, we will do the practical real-time projects also. Don't worry about it. So is it clear now? So we used 10 only. We are checking for 10 only in the string. So finally, we are able to see false because 10 is also already available. And similarly, we used 3 and 4 here. So 3 and 4, that means 3 and 4, the string only should have the 1 and 0, 1 or 0. So that is the reason we are able to see true here. So this is for checking invert case. Yes, it's clear. So don't worry. So we just confused in this. So we will take a real-time projects also. Don't worry about it. So, but we have to discuss few more characters available in the regular expressions first. Screen is not visible. So yes, sir, how to check the symbols in regular expression? So we have to specify the symbols directly. So don't worry, I will explain it also. So yes, so it's time to check for the plus symbol and star symbol. That is also one of the important category, the regular expressions. So here we have the date, right? So we have date. So what is the date here? So 15/11 and 2001. So here I'm going to check for the number of occurrences of the space. So I'm going to use the console.log. I'm going to use console.log and I'm going to use date function. No, not date function. We have to use regular expression first. So for regular expression, I'm going to use slashes again. So here we already know we have to use /d and we can define 2 here. So here I'm going to use plus symbol. Plus symbol means we can calculate the number of occurrences. So I'm going to use a special character, that is /s, that is space. Here I'm going to use test condition. Again I'm going to use the date function here. Date. Again, what is the error here? Invalid regular expression. Yes, let me recheck this. So /d, so /d and regular expression. So we have to use plus symbol only. Okay, we have to use it for repeated statements, right? So let me remove the regular expression first. So let me rewrite the regular expression here. So I would like to use slash d only, slash d. I'm going to use slash d, and I'm going to use plus symbol. So let me check this, and now we're able to see true. Okay, that's fine. So again, I'm going to use another regular expression here, something like I'm going to use empty string. So I'm going to use empty string. What will happen? So this is false because a digit is not available here. So very similar to this. That means when we are going to mention the plus symbol, so the string must and should have at least one digit in it. Must and should have at least one digit. So we are able to see digits here. That is the reason we are able to get the true here. So we have digits in the date, and similarly we mentioned empty space. That means empty space. So we don't have any kind of empty spaces here. So let me recheck that. So I'm going to use. So what is that? Here we are using 15/12/2020. I'm going to rechange. I'm going to manipulate this date to date equals to. I'm going to use hi. I just used hi. And let me use the console.log statement again. Console.log statement, and I'm going to represent the regular expression. So here I'm going to use slash d plus, and I'm going to use test. Here I'm going to pass the date. So if you observe this, we are mentioning that the string must and should have at least one digit in it. So let me check this. So that is false because we don't have any kind of digits in it. So very similar to this, I'm going to use star. I'm going to use star here. Star means, so at least we have 0 or more than 0 digits in the given string. So if we don't have any kind of digits in the string, that is also fine by using the star symbol. So let me check this. That is also true. So it checks 1 or more, and it checks 0 or more. This is the difference between these two. Similarly, if you going to use the W here, so W, and I'm going to use plus. Let me check this. Now that is true. So because the given string is having the alphanumerical values, that is having alphabets. So that is the reason we are able to see the true value here. So this is the difference, where we have to use plus symbol and where we have to use star symbol. So is that clear, everyone? Now please share the document, sir. Yes, we already shared the document, right? Sir, is regex used to email and password? Yes, we have to validate emails, phone numbers, and password also. Definitely, I will explain this. And very similar to this, we have something like a string, right? So that is date. So what is the date having here? Date is having hi. Hi, that's it. So I'm going to use the console.log statement again. Console.log, and I'm going to use a regular expression. So that is cap symbol. That is the starting letter. That is H. And so we are mentioning that the string must and should start with the H character. I'm going to use test function, and in the test function I'm going to use date as the parameter. Now that is true. Very similar to this, I'm going to use I here. So let me check this. Now we're able to see false. So this cap symbol checks the beginning character of the given string. This cap symbol checks the beginning character. So if you want to check the ending character, we have to use dollar. For example, the ending character of the string ends with the dollar, the I. So I mentioned dollar here. That means the string must and should ends with the character I. So let me check this. Now we're able to see that is true. So if you mention any kind of other characters, something like I'm going to use Z, so Z is not available. So but we are mentioning that string must and should ends with the character Z. So now we are able to see the false statement as the answer. So this is the difference. So we have to use cap for checking the beginning character, and we have to use dollar for checking the ending character of the given string. So if you want to make the optional character, for example, so we have a string that is high, right? So in date string we have a value that is high. That's fine. I'm going to change this to so hello everyone. So we need not to use this W. This W is optional. We can use hello, that is HELLO only. So for making a character as optional, we have to use question mark. So for example, I'm going to use the console.log statement again, console.log, and I'm going to use something like yes, that is a pattern, the regular expression. So I'm going to use what is it? So hello, HELLO, and here W is optional, so I'm going to make this optional. Hello, and I'm going to use everyone again, space everyone. So let me check this by using test function. I'm going to use test, and I'm going to use date. That's it. So now that is true. So here W is optional. Again, I would like to change this to date equals to, I'm going to use hello, and I'm going to use everyone. I just used hello everyone, and save this, and here I'm going to check the condition again. So that is console.log statement. Here we don't have this W. If you observe this, we don't have any kind of W in the given string, but we made this as an optional. So let me check this. Even also we are able to see true condition because this W is optional. So maybe we have it or we don't have it. So is it clear everyone now? Completely, sir, is reject used for yes, it's yes, and completely clear. Now is it clear where we have to use uh, the optional character and how we are going to use optional character? Is it clear everyone? So if that clear, we will do a small practice by using real time example for checking the phone number or any other characters. So this is the ending topic for this. So we will wind up the session within 2 to 3 minutes by doing this practice. Sir, once explain last topic. Yes, last topic we discussed the optional character. So if you observe this here, so we mentioned question mark after W. That means W is optional here. The W character is optional here. So when we are going to mention it, so we can get true here. So here the string doesn't have any kind of W here. Even we are able to see true here. So because this question mark is optional. Okay, so once yes, is that clear? Fatima. So we just made this W as optional. So we just used W as optional. So we mentioned here, even we are able to see true here. And similarly, when W is now more in specific characters. So for example, HELLO after W is there, right? So we don't have any kind of W. Even we are able to see true as the result. So this is the difference. Is it clear? Okay. So let me do a practice. For example, I would like to write a regular expression for Indian mobile number. So we know Indian mobile numbers are starting with either 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to use a mobile number. So that is where mobile equals to. So I'm going to use a mobile number. So that is something like 9100965113. Yes. So I'm using this mobile number. Now it's time to check this, whether this mobile number is valid or not. So we have to write the regular expression for this. I'm going to use console.log statement again, console.log, and I'm going to use a pattern. So that is the string. So the string must and should starts with either 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to use cap symbol. This is for starting position. I'm going to use 6 to 9. So either 6, 7, 8, 9. And how many digits we need to have? So we need to have at least one. And after that, so we used to have 0 to 9 and at least 9 characters in it. So total we have 10 characters for Indian mobile number. So this is 1 character and this is 9 characters. So let me check this. So by using test function, it is test function, and the mobile number we already mentioned here, it is mobile. So let me check this. That is true. So if I'm going to change that mobile number to some other, so mobile equals to something like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, like this. So this is not an Indian mobile number. So I'm going to use the console.log statement again. Console.log statement. And let me check this. Now we are able to see false statement because this is not an Indian mobile number. So if you give any other mobile number starting with 6, so I'm going to use 65345675554. So this is for just example. So and I'm going to execute this by using console.log statement again. So let me use console.log statement. Now this is true because this is Indian mobile number. The Indian mobile numbers are starting with 6. Similarly, if you mention multiple lines, for example, more than 10 characters, for example, I would like to use 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like. So we have, this is not an Indian mobile number. So we have more than 10 digits in this given string. So here I'm going to execute the console.log statement again. So now, yes, we are able to see false. Yes, we didn't mention any kind of dollar character for the ending position. So we have to mention the dollar position. Yes, let me use dollar and check it. Now we are able to see false here. So this is how we are going to check whether the mobile number is Indian or not. So we used some kind of information like this, and we are able to see the true after checking the condition by using this regular expression. So this is how we're going to check the mobile number. Sir, once explain last topic. Yes, okay. So that's Rajesh sir number. Oh, I don't know actually. Okay. So is it clear, everyone? If the topic is clear, we will wind up the session for today and we'll continue tomorrow. Is it clear, everyone? Just respond in the chat box once. Yes. Yes, clear. So yes. So if you have any kind of doubts, you can ask me. Yes, everyone responded that is positively. So okay, no problem. Let me wind up the session for today, and we'll continue tomorrow. So we have to discuss the regular expression concept again tomorrow because we have pending concepts in that. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.